Look at all these fucking spoilers.
Ceasing to live.
No more spoilers. Hey, hey. I want to give people a sec to come in, but meanwhile, I gotta show you my exciting new shirt that I made for the sake of, in honor of Kaine. One sec, I gotta make it, put it over here like this. Do this. Hello, it's me, sexy Kaine. I got very sexy booby. Oh wait, do I have all the things closed? Yeah. What's up? As always, just let me know how my relative volumes are. If I need to turn myself down or the game down or myself up or any of that stuff, just let me know. So how do they start off our next run?
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway.
Where last we left our heroes. Nah, this is the very beginning of Route B. Kaine's dreams. Discrimination. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their rooms and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly towards the wooden hawk-shaped... Oh yeah, I still don't know how my flowers are doing! Maybe they're okay. I don't know. Ah! A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly towards the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as anyone could remember, and stared. Gee... The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. The beak turns east. I go home. You know, because people who are super pale are very sexless. Those things go together. And the beak turns east. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. I assume this is Kaine because of the whole intersex thing. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vane slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly towards the east. East? Really? Before the vane could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground. Thank you for following, as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yo-ho, Kaine! The voice belongs to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. Oh no, it's the bully squad. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from the cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the action of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me, he can't hurt me. He can't. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Oh look, little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? What a cool guy. What a cool bully. Kaine prayed for the rain to flow down and carry her away from the world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless, a failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. Oh no, I'm wearing a sexy Kaine costume. It's very sexy. It's super sexy. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with his thick fingers and yanked it upwards. She tried to turn away, but he forced his gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Ew. Show me. No. Did you say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Blah, blah, blah. She curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Fucking edgelord. Freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare to open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawl on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine, but the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage.
Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it.
The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Pretty good. I see where Kaine gets her spunk from. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop! What are you doing?
Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch.
Hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That could kill me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backwards and spat on the ground. Get out, leave this village. No one wants to hear either of you. Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh.
Ha! Ha! Look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight.
The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it on the young girl's shoulders, and produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting out the blood on her forehead. She's a nice lady.
Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot.
The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away.
Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore.
Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below.
Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak.
I wish I were dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hand on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away.
Don't talk like that, girl.
It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand?
The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice.
You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it.
As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought all through these things and somehow emerged on the other side. I didn't know that this was going to start like this. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her.
Do I make you sick, Grandma?
Of course not. Don't be an ass.
Kaine grew her grandmother's moth-eating shawl around her body and shuddered.
But my body is not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't...
Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you, and if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell, yeehaw.
With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again.
Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me?
Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real.
Where did you find these?
Just stumbled on them while I was out doing shopping.
The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers.
Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty little girl like you, yeehaw.
Kaine blushed and turned away.
You think I'm pretty?
Of course you are. What a fool thing to say.
Thank you, Grandma.
Her grandma smiled.
We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine.
Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped her hand with all her might as if to try to stop the smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift off past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams, daily life. Wait, does that mean more text? Take a swig of my gamer fuel.
In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sound of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from the work of an artist could be. Pieces from every shape and size were being flung around as bearing yarn with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was done. Stupid piece of shit axe. Oh, stupid piece of shit axe.
Kaine's grandmother flailed. Here, wait. Let's make this an ASMR thing. Hey guys, it's time for Kaine's Daily Life ASMR. ASMR where you can indulge in being Kaine. Very gently. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailors blush. Grandma, called Kaine. That you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close, or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake, bitch. She brought the axe down on the piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle. At which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandpa, do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Splish, 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 splish. I'm pouring the water now. Splish, splish. I'm on the left side of you. I'm on the right side of you. Splish. Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was nothing changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two men could be found on the rocky acre of lands they called home. Oh, the two of them, not the two men. Sorry, my mistake. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. But she also found the chore somewhat soothing. Chop, chop, chop. The chop of an axe is very soothing, isn't it? Chop, chop. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood. And when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it. Crap. He suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough. And my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy girl, you better practice if you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Splish, splish. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Hello everyone, welcome to ASMR Old Woman Dying in Front of You. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed to the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma? What's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that. Just stop, she cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick. You need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed like an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later... Oh yeah, that's right, Kaine wears just normal human clothes at this point, I guess. Hours later, as an unseen sun made his way across the dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her and then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. ASMR, I burp my energy drink into your ear. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, settled on her, handles everyone who's angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey ladies, said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary, bitch? The woman's flabby cheek shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? ASMR, local villager, is discriminatory against you. But Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed out a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary. But the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo! He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Also, yeah, this is why I think it's really funny that Yoko Taro was so obsessed with, you know, the whole making Papa Nier thing so that this game would appeal to, like, Western gamers. I think this game had other things going on that you might want to worry more about in terms of Western gaming tastes. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found.
Oh my god!
He sputtered. I mean, what are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for medication.
Huh?
Barked Demo.
That old bitch finally keel over?
Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed to readily fall out of their head. But when he could let it fly, come back, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told him to knock it off before he kicked him out of the store. I know, this is like some parts of Umineko, except Umineko would have like an edited, you know, like photo of something to work as a background. I demand that kind of thing. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop before the owner prepared her medication. Semi-QWERTY, think you're better than us? You think you're better than us that you look at this and you think of like a book and not a visual novel? It's called a sound novel. That's what Umineko called it. It's a sound novel because he couldn't draw well, and so you just have to think of it. You have to focus on the sounds rather than the visuals, because the people don't have fingers. So it's an exciting new genre, actually. Anyways, on the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The portrait once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad. They seemed to stare through. And that's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just started at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Let's see. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. Very exciting. Ooh, he's giving crayons to Kaine. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she's driven out of this town is just deplorable.
Grandma's named Kali? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. What? She never asked her name? That's silly.
Your grandmother is an old friend of mine,
he said to Kaine as he scooted away yet again.
And I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like this very much.
Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her head was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps she might one day discover this is in the world. Hey Malakante, I'm wearing a sexy Kaine outfit, but not really. It ended up looking like a life vest. What you gonna do? When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw evenly. It's like, I'm wearing like the off-brand Halloween costume equivalent of Kaine's outfit. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked the grandma with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned again and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? Angry underwear lady costume. It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh, so anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed her crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch a portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. Saw, save me. There's so much text. Saw, save me. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Poor shit, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from bed. Living forever would just piss off. Now this grandma's the way I have a dinner. Wait. This isn't all of Route B, right? Is this all of Route B? Should I be preparing to read for like another 2 hours? Are we doing a let's read? Okay. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, you know, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud. She pondered this for a bit and then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on so that someday you can feel the same happiness. It was a moment that burned itself into Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on, people and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall, but this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever, 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 forever and ever and ever. Kaine's dream separation. No more. I need some more gamer fuel. Burp. Alright. We're reading this, motherfuckers. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get to the part where we play the game and I can see if my flowers are okay. Here we go. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing around over the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave ASMR. You listen to me drink an energy drink. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you girl, it's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kaine, and I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at this house on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from bullies. It's often the way with stubborn people. Their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but they moved forward all the same. They're doubled tsundere. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of her daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast for with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Yes, well, welcome to visual novels. I do like visual novels as an art form, but not one that I have to read out loud over an extended period of time in a voice. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Lacing up her work boobs. I mean, she does have to lace up those boobs. I was really looking at her costume as I was drawing this horrible replication of it, and there's so much going on the boob part. There's just a lot going on the boob part. Well, I was going to check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it across their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. Goddamn, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. Yeehaw. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot, I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other... Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, you won't eat tonight. You know that? A confused expression passed across the old woman's face. Wait, I'm just mixing all my voices now. And for a moment she was a small child lost to the carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're gonna be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. That means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't nothing like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it, what the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked and then slowly held her wrinkled hand out as if it was the first time she'd ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Oh, damn. This sucks. Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began, maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looked so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she'd decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with the finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. Oh! Oh gods, no! 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 Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma! Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling to the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. Yeah, I mean, you know, it ain't the worst way to go if you're super old. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail, scales, horns, and claws. Oh, that's right, this is the Lizord. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from his body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if the mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist, but then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. I just realized, so I guess even this lizard guy was a person? Alright, you bastards, she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. It's you or me, let's go. The shade eyed Kaine with a bemused interest, and it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced towards the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Come on! I feel like it has to be something like that, right? It would be really weird if some people are just like little shade things, and some people, for some reason, their soul was like a giant fucked up lizard. But I mean, I don't know. At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaine. Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard towards the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and set them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes, and she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might as well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma! Hold on! Just a little longer! Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out his tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corner. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside his core. Bastard, laughing at us. She had no idea that such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt that the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Wait, because I'm trying to figure out, because the whole thing with shades is that they want to become part of the shells again, right? But it seems like this guy just want to kill people. So, like, shades suck. I think it's totally fine if we just kill them all. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backwards, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble towards the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back, she screamed. Give her back to me. Well, it seems like... unless we find like a big reservoir of shades that haven't been incorporated yet, it seems like most of them lost their sentience. Because we've only seen 2 so far that were still sentient. It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air towards the young girl that was latched to his foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing to the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with the blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine? Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hand reaching out to her through the smoke. Emma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one. How do you like my rap I just made, Kaine? Kaine, how do you like my sick flow, Kaine? Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with her strength. Grandma, come on, we have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no. No! I say run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through. Oh. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's claw of foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shadowed figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hand which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind one after another, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, it took a slow, hesitant step backwards, trying to discern if the broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a mad woman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the legs of the shades. The shades shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Think it is. Think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke, and the flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill, 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 kill. Kill, 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 kill. Hello. As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. And now Froyo's on my desk in front of me. Hello, Froyo. Froyo. See, look, there's so much going on with this top. It's impossible to draw.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
That was the true final boss, really. Making me read all that. What was that? Those 40 minutes of reading. Jeez. Alright, we fucking doing this. Video games. Can I remember how to play video games after all that? Let's see.
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
Not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
Yeah, I misunderstood what it said at the end of the last stream about this part. Apparently you're always Nier. You don't get to be Kaine. Except for like some kind of bonus content for the remake. I think I also assumed it would be that way because of Nier Automata, you know, how you switch to being 9S. But no, you gotta be Nier. Easier than ever! Oh, that's pretty cool. They were able to adapt something that was only in some fucking spin-off book thing. Good for them. Choke bitch. Bah. Hey, Emil. I missed you. No. 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 No, 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 no. Yes. You know what? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom. Wait, I gotta use my... Be right back, motherfuckers. I went to the restroom and the babies were running around and they greeted me. They're very cute. I don't want to read more. I guess we gotta read more. Gently. Weakly. Softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stomping along the way to Bella One. Wait, stopping along the way to Bella One. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead. Couldn't kill it. Shame beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing out a huge gout of blood. Bleh, 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 bleh. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eyes to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of an arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. Woof, 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 woof. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated in smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right now. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm around the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. No, stop, no, don't hurt that picture. Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture into the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Pew, 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 pew. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced the jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Hot. I look like that? Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoked, back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house, and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me, save me. Ka-ha-ha-ha-ha. Kaine finally I'm assuming this is whatever shade possessed her. I'm just wondering if it's a Kaine shade, or if it's just like some other random shade that's like, hey, like I said last stream, like a square peg round hole situation. Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Wahaha. Oh God, you are the best. Kaine glanced down and saw a black shiny substance oozing from her leg. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet, and they began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive and this was real. Come on, said the voice, let it go. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear off their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. Oh no, she's got the hands of a spooky murder ghost. Oh no! In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Kahaha, yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the sockets of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy! She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body. I'll give you some more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eyes must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. Stop. Stop, you fucking cringe. Stupid. What is this fucking late game Stephen King sexy danger horror shit? The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Oh, what the hell, sunshine, screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloody and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard his mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Don't make me think about Tessa in this situation. They're making it way too sexy. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern stays burning itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, sunshine. I think you and me are going to be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more she seemed ready to puncture her skin and began affecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop, gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hey, this is my favorite dish and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up. Get the hell out of my body. Your body. Oh, that's rich, sunshine. Real rich. I wonder what the sunshine was in Japanese. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have a body all to myself? What do you say? I bet these buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Kaha, stupid idiot girl, you're possessed now, sunshine, and there ain't nothing, no going back. You dumbo, you're super possessed. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed, whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me, we got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller, somehow darker. Is this because of that shade? Is that how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all that bad. There's plenty of it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies, people you want to kill. I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you, that big old shade that squashed your granny, we'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, no more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of race? I don't think that's the right term in this situation. Some killing snob. I don't give a good goddamn what you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considers as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away in the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze left her new arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So how about it, you and me? We could have good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole. Murdered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Ha ha ha, screamed the voice. Look at you. Oh, sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyrion. My name's Tyrion. Tyrion Callows. And if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging on a piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. And the more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten sour, and I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said, yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shit, I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyrion. Count on it. Ha, laughed Tyrion. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Shit bigger than you. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, faded somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal. She thought it feels like mine. Desperate, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I'm Kaine. Repeat this mantra in her head. She slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, began to carefully ignore it. She found what she was looking for, the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. That's amazing. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry, but I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak, and this time I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As nightly gradually lightened to dawn, and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive. Stay alive.
Emil!
Stay alive.
Emil!
Grandma. Kaine, you gotta live. You gotta come back to us.
Okay. I give them all kiss.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Kaine, look, we're twins now. Wow.
Emil,
I remember this.
you were the one calling me, weren't you?
Yeah. He looks so silly. Huh?
You still recognize me?
Yeah.
Of course.
There's
I
the
knew
butt
right
we all
away.
know and love.
Thank you, Kaine.
No probo, baby.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Also, so I guess this means that she started doing the whole underwear thing, like,
You
pretty
grew up?
recently?
So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Her face is so cute. Look at her. It's interesting that her left eye looks completely normal, even though it's a shade eye or whatever the fuck.
That's a long time.
Mhm.
Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's.
Oh yeah, I
great.
didn't notice that she doesn't have the
Thank
flower
you.
in her hair here. That you see on like the concept art and stuff. Does she have it immediately after?
Kaine waking
We
from a
killed
long,
the
petrified
boss
sleep.
real quick.
Emil's unflagging kindness.
This motherfucker made me read for an
Our reunion
hour.
was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain.
I forgot about this fucking
That
nerdy
is,
ass thing.
Until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
I know, they're so fucking rude. But they have amazing moves. With
Are
their
you
cool
kidding me?
dance.
You can't be serious.
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and
This is crap.
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and
Alright, so
Kaine
this is
saved this.
happening.
People are afraid of us. As long as you're still right, Kaine.
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
sorry.
So I need to find out when things go differently in this route.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn.
Okay, but I need to check on my plants. You gotta let me check on my plants.
I didn't get much sleep that night.
Because I was worried about my plants.
For the first time in my life, I hated Devila.
For the first time in my life, I questioned Popola.
For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola.
Doubt it.
But those feelings are pointless in the end.
All we are is dust in the wind.
They said and did what they did for the sake of the village.
I'm sorry, I've got the throat
To
warbles from my
protect it
energy
the
drink.
horror of the shades.
Oh wait, maybe my noise gate actually catches it. We'll see.
Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola?
Because they're poo-poo butts.
In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Hell yeah. I definitely don't have very shameful throat warbles. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem I deal with all the time, every day. It's fine.
Bruh.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that?
Campfires are weird.
Bruh. Bruh.
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
New content.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Cringe.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
Yeah, she
I'm
noticed.
sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad. At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
Yeah, we just read all about it, Kaine.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Okay.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
No, you gotta really revel in her suffering and shit. Isn't it Moe Moe? She wooby. The lance is clipping through my outfit. That was always something kind of funny about Fullmetal Alchemist, is how they always talk about, you know,
Sleep
bringing
well.
Al's body back and bringing Ed's body back at the same time, when Ed's just like, lots of people have prosthetics, Ed. You don't have to be that big of a baby about it.
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale.
Oh fuck, I got the red eyes. Watchers.
Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well. What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the black scrawl and died when I was little.
La la la, the Watchers.
My apologies for...
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
Oh no, but my plants. I shouldn't have looked at it. My plants.
Say there, can you not hear me? Why are
Full
you
Metal
standing about
Alchemist.
like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Oh shit, I'm Papa
Sleeping on
Nier.
one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Shit, I traded away my K-pop boy body for a big boy body. Fa la la la, the Watchers. Wait, I'm gonna see if I can go. I gotta check on my plants. Priorities, dude. I'm sorry.
My word,
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
That's pretty
I
funny.
know what you mean. That happened.
All right, all right. Oh, safe. No, no, no. This is how it has to be. This is when you can get the seeds. Gotta get the seed. But no, still no pink. None of these is pinks. They will never let me have pink. I guess for someone who knows, how long is the Papa Nier stuff? Is that something that we could maybe do tonight without it becoming another 3-hour stream? Or should I maybe go do other things in the game? Something about the way that I drew this Kaine top, I feel it makes me think of that Crackly drawing where Blake has like 6 boobs. I'm a cat, so I got between 5 and 11 teats. See, peach. I got red and I got peach, but I ain't got a single pink. Yeah. Cats can have an odd number of teats. And it is variable. It's interesting. I guess we'll do the Papa Nier stuff. Because obviously we gotta do it at some point. Gotta be Papa Nier. But that's really interesting because like in this, if you become Papa Nier in this game, is it the Nier from the AU where you're the Papa, or is it your Papa in this game?
The diary,
Yeah.
the world.
The world of the recycled vessel. Oh yeah, because we still don't know why there's, you know, like, if there was a Shade Me this whole time, the Shadow Lord, like, does there just keep being born the same kinds of vessels? Like do they just breed like normal people, but then you're just gonna keep getting Nier bods or something? Proceed beyond this point, you'll be unable to save until the battle is over. Do you want to go through the door? Yeah. I feel great today. No cough, no fever. Watch out, world, because Yona's coming out to play! This is a world of the recycled vessel created to avoid the destruction of all. What is this music? Break it down now. What's up, y'all? Oh ho ho. On the dance floor. Oh wait, I can use my boy. This the club remix, huh? Yeah. What else was I wondering about? Oh, so I guess... Is Black Scrawl disease different from... Obviously it's different from Shade Possession, I guess. But is it just what was caused by the Angel 911 white dust? It's kind of confusing if black disease is caused by the white angel dust. But I don't know what else it would be caused by. Oh yeah, that's a different thing. So, how did Black Scroll start being a thing? Cause in that, and when you get the password quiz from the Shadow Lord's bird boys, it's, you know, like, why are human life short because of the Black Scrawl disease? And then how can you prolong them? So it seems like the Black Scrawl disease was the problem that we had to fix. So why was that a thing? Why is that a thing? I don't understand. It does make me think about how in Automata, I felt like a lot of the timing didn't really work out in terms of how they describe the backstory with, you know, like people just seemingly sitting around for thousands of years and not figuring out basic things about the situation. I feel like maybe some of that same stuff is going on with this game, where it's like, how is this... Like, I feel like you can't think too hard about the time leading up to the situation you're in. Oh yeah, please say it then, if it's never mentioned. God damn it. It's basically a glitch in the replicant system caused by the relapses of their... Wait, but then, despite the belief that the Black Scroll was a fatal disease, it was actually a malfunction in a replicant body when the corresponding gestalt was beginning to relapse. These were the effects that the protagonist's Nier sister, Yona, underwent. So then, yeah, the Black Scrawl is just a replicant thing, and not a human thing. I guess close enough or whatever. That makes it sound like the fucking... The Shadow Lord's dove quiz boys think of just the replicants as valid people. That doesn't make a lot of sense. What am I supposed to do here? Oh, I see icons. Where are they? But it was like... You got... Some of you remember what I'm talking about, right? The order of the questions was like, why do humans... What causes the humans to die out? The black disease. How can you make humans live longer? Separate the body and soul. It seems like this order of operations is fucked up. Oh. Gotta go down here. No, well, that was a question, that was the third question. Where do the shades reside or whatever, and it's within their corresponding shells. A black scroll, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. Damn. They declared the Western version invalid. Someone's having fun with visual effects. Oh! I didn't know that. I assumed this was a remake thing. But do you guys understand my confusion here? Because they had to do this whole thing with the replicants and the gestalts because humanity was dying off because of the other disease thing. So it feels weird to be like, why did humanity die off? Because of this thing we did because humanity had died off. It feels like cheating. See, this is exactly the problem I had with Automata. I feel like maybe you're not supposed to think too much about the specifics and just kind of go with the vibes, but I'm that kind of, you know, asshole who has to think too much about the specifics and ruin the game. I need that guy from Looper to come in and be like, don't think about it. Your head is too stupid to think about it, so you just shouldn't. It is still really funny to me that Shays and Replicants are basically the nobodies and heartless. Yeah, Semi-Cordy, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. I'm right. Soldiers of Salt calling forth white death. They are legion. Where's the... We never had Soldiers of Salt with white death. I guess that's all like stuff that happened before the game, theoretically, right? Who were the Soldiers of Salt? Wait a second. So the Nier we were at the very beginning of the game, in the store, was he a replicant or was he supposed to be a human Nier? Because it seemed like the Yona was human, because didn't she have the Chlorinthian syndrome? And I'm reading this. The pursuit was the white disease, so they got the idea that they would take all their souls out and go away, but then while they were all their bodies became ethereal or whatever, a black disease showed up and they can't do soul medicine, so... Yeah, and also at some point, robots. Like, so if the... Because Devil and Popola are super people-style robots. But the only other robots we run into are those super janky ones. As if that's the level of robotics that the previous civilization got to. But they clearly got way past that. Or is it just like one mad scientist who figured out everything about androids? I don't think it's that we gotta reread it, because I don't think the problem is that we're not remembering things. I think the problem is that it's goofy. I will die on this hill. Wait a second. Why am I not using my psychological support sides? Haha! Because, you know, in Automata, there's that whole aspect where it's like... for thousands and thousands of years, people just kind of assumed humans were still a thing, even though there was only androids alive anywhere. And then, like, a lot of stuff with the specifics of what you learn about the past is like, how did that all go down in that way, you know? I think he just doesn't worry too much about the exact specifics of how the backstory of the games works out. Oh shit, I got a new sword. The dragon's course brought death to the world. The living under the power of magic. You can't tell me that it doesn't make sense on purpose. You can't. No. It's stupid on purpose. He meant it. Oh, big turtle. I should probably switch to a big weapon. Oh, that's whenever shades die, you hear muttering. I guess, you know, because they're the souls of people, so it's like their souls being like,
Why did you have to fucking kill me, stupid?
yeah, but why aren't there any other androids? Yet. Yeah, they've been doing it the whole game. It's pretty quiet. So it might not come across super well on stream. But they go, fuck you. You suck. Oh shit. Oh, this is the guy from the portion where you have the Diablo view. I didn't recognize him. These visuals are really no fun. Please let me see. Well, yeah, some of it's a lie, but I'm talking about the stuff we actually know. I'm not talking about the lie parts. Give me a little credit here. I'm talking about when you're revealed information that's definitely supposed to be super true about the backstory. If that's also a lie, then like, fuck it, you know? Don't give me big ol' revelations and then be like, maybe also the revelations were double super secret lies and it'll never come up. That's how you know it's a mysterious game. I'm liking these remixes. I gotta see if these are on my, soundtrack that I have on iTunes. Though I think I also separately have to download the version that's came with the remake, because I only have the original soundtrack. Alright, we good? Gamer fuel. The black sickness stains the future. They journey to return to soulless vessels. Oh shit. We side-scrolly. Ah, that's right, because Automata also had several different soundtracks if you really wanted all the tracks, including like the hacking tracks and whatnot. Oh my god, I gotta read this. Okay, the timeline is implied by what I've seen in the games is humans killed off by disease, civilization collapses, become shades to survive, go crazy waiting for their clone bodies to be made, clones don't learn about shades' true nature and start calling themselves human, rebuild civilization, make androids, get invaded by aliens and killed off, aliens... Wait. Some of this is wrong. Aliens then in turn killed off by weapons they made to kill humans, weird stuff. Cause the androids, at least, you know, Devila and Popola were supposedly made to be, like, caretakers of this whole thing. So androids were invented, and then but we forgot about them, but at some point someone reinvents androids or figures it out again, and then androids become like a big thing. Oops. I should be looking at the game more. Okay. Hop. Oh. I hate platforming. I panic. Okay, wait. The whole white Corinthian thing feels like it should have been in the game more. Oh, maybe it will be in some of these other routes or something. Are you sure about that, Time Sage? Because I'm not sure about that. Well, wait, Gestalts are shades. Shades and Gestalts are the same thing. Well, because androids don't have souls or whatever. Wait, but that's later. Like, I think the ones that we have in this game are the original ones. And then they say that they made a lot more of them to bully, because they were mad at Devila and Popola, and so they were like, those jerks, let's make more of them and then bully them. I'm pretty sure that that's how that worked out. I guess I don't have to fight all these guys. If there's really like a Devila and a Popola in every village or something, I call bullshit that we never happen to run into them as a concept. They're built to present find the heights and oversee everything off being the stage affiliate. Like, how does nobody show up to our village and be like, hey, what are you doing here, Devila, who I know from my own village and is also someone that is, you know? Yeah, this is the rest of the stream. So we just get to talk about whether the lore makes any sense while I fight through whatever the fuck this whole thing is. Well then how many... what's the Devila per city ratio that's required? And obviously, wait. I wonder if there's are there other Nier bods? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm so fucking bad at platforming. This is not my forte. What the? That's janky! Yeah, it seems like people in Nier World are just universally very bad at noticing things. That's something that maintains throughout thousands of years. Okay. Oh my god. I don't know, because I think, like, it's not like I'm saying the games are bad just because the lore ends up being kind of janky. And I feel like people who love it don't love it because they think that the lore, specifically isn't janky at all. Both things can exist. I just want to understand it. Goddamn it. It's like I slide off it. Okay. Wait, oh, I have to go up there. Oh. This sucks. Okay. Oh, it is. Yeah, it seems like theoretically replicants should be clone people. You know, so that you have a body to go into that matches your soul, but I guess they just like have all these genetic elements of various people and you're just really hoping that the one that matches your soul gets born again. Born again Christian. Obtain the Kabuki outfit. Oh, that's an outfit for Kaine. I think it's the one I don't like at all, where she has a black bob thing. Obtain medicinal herb. The platforming definitely doesn't feel like it controls very well. Oh shit, 2-door. They do remind me of that, yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? Because they're supposed to be like these vessels without souls for other souls to go into, but then they became people themselves. Yeah. I wonder why that ends up being such a thing in a lot of these RPGs. Like, is there a common basis that a lot of them draw inspiration from, or is it just kind of an idea that they all had separately? Wait. Oh, okay, the story's already been completed. I'm gonna do this one, and then we'll probably call it a night. The apocalypse divided the world in two, one that knows not day, the one which has never seen the night. Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I can't handle how they just keep doing silly effects over all the visuals. The following actions are prohibited in this room. Magic spewing bat. Oh shit, we got rules. Oh, I also can't... What? I can't jump? Wait a second. It just let me magic spewing bat. Does it only prohibit one thing at a time, maybe? Ooh. Ooh. I love his butt rock remix. Alright, so now I can do everything but jump, I guess? It is pretty funny. Look, these games were not made for their elegance. Black and white, 13 packs. The vessels form waver as they cross time and space. So when aliens come down, I guess there was still replicant people, and the aliens wiped out all the replicant people? Or did aliens, was it already just androids by the time the aliens came around? I forget about that aspect of it. Oh shit, they're talking about Organization 13 and the Nobods. This DLC is very... We have to make DLC for the Muns. Which version of post-apocalypse copy replacement humans did the aliens kill? That's the questions you're left having to ask in this world. Well, why'd we die off? It seems like we have a pretty good thing going. Everyone's gonna go off and do homework and then have answers for why I'm wrong about all the lore next time. And then you can tell me off. You'd be like, stupid cat. Oh. Bounce.
It seems we have been shut in.
No. Wait a second, do I have a fucking Android blindfold situation? I guess theoretically the idea is that we never got the whole shade situation sorted out and everybody ended up dying to the Black Scrawl. Which, come on, Yokotaro, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Oh my god, too many. It's too many. Safety signs. Yeah, what the heck? And like, so, I mean, it has to be the Replicant people who made the Devil and Popola, the bully time Devil and Popola clones, who should also theoretically want to protect the Replicants, so how did the Replicants end up dying off? But Devil and Popola still there. Oh yeah, is there a particular ending of this game that Automata follows? I didn't think about that, you know, like ending C is the canonical one. The song of man has been drowned out in this place, the scream of something inhuman. Bruh. I'm glad that I'm not the only one being driven mad by these questions. You can't with the maybe we don't see the real important stuff or whatever. Devil and Popola and the Shadow Lord, like, are there other Shadow Lords around the world, or is it just so coincidental that the Shadow Lord is a thing with Devil and Popola here and what? I don't buy it. Also, it was a whole thing that the Shadow Lord was like the first Gestalt, right? So he's like the boss Gestalt. Because he was the firstest one. Wait, why would all Shade's humans die because the Shadow Lord dies? Why would that be a thing? Come here, you. I'm only half paying attention to whatever I'm doing in this game. Are you saying that everyone in the world died shortly after the ending of the first ending? Is that spoilers? Are you spoiling me over here? Oh, there's many boys. I don't want spoilers. At least not about anything that's actually going to be, like, relevant in the game. If it's about lore stuff that's like, this actually comes up in a tertiary booklet that comes with a play that you have to watch, I'm okay with getting spoiled on that stuff. But if it's something that's, like, implied by a later ending, then I would want to wait on it. Which thing? I don't even remember what part I was talking about now. Oh, whether we all die as a result, a direct result of the Shadow Lord dying. That's stupid if so. Yeah, we can have another conversation like this. We can all reconvene. Got a new two-handed sword. The sky falls with the dragon. The world ends this day. I like that it's just retelling you the story of the backstory, just for fun. Oh, I guess maybe because it wasn't made super explicit ever. So I guess maybe this DLC made it a bit more explicit than it ever gets to in the game. About what happened with Scarlet and everything. Members only stream. We argue about how much sense this all makes. ASMR, me trying to explain my conception of the timeline of the Nier games. Don't even Malacante, is that a thing? I mean, I could see it being a thing, but while we were playing there was no implication of that. I could totally see him making that a thing though. What about Nier Reincarnation, the gacha thing? Where does that theoretically, or is it known yet? Are people still waiting to find out where it's supposed to fit in the timeline? Is it after the 5th humanity dying off event? So it's unclear. Are like shades or automata in it? Like, do you fight shades? Do you fight sexy robot ladies? Or is it some new kind of enemy? Oh. So it might be best to think of it kind of like Drakengard 2 or something. Yeah, because Final Fantasy XIV, the thing is theoretically... I guess maybe that's a big spoiler? But it's the one where they blast off again, and then they ended up there. Is that canon? I think people were just guessing that that was the case at the time. But I remember people saying that it seemed like it was going to be that, you know, like the android brothers in the timeline where they blast off in a spaceship, that they ended up in Final Fantasy XIV world, and that's canon. I want that to be it. Welcome to the Melony series of streams where I play all of Final Fantasy XIV just so I can get to that. So we can be completionist about Yoko Taro nonsense. I see. I'm attacking and attacking. I don't know what I'm doing. It really makes you think about the cycle of violence, you know? That's what this DLC is. It's actually very deep. It's about you don't even know why you're fighting, but you continue to fight. It's like the bad run in Undertale. So you think about your words and deeds. What? Why is that a meme? I've seen that going around, people doing that copy pasta. What's up with that? What's the backstory there? They just keep going, they just keep coming. Coming and going. Oh, he's Fiend! That's adorable, so it's just like ad copy that the fans have made up for themselves to try to get people into the game. That's pretty fucking kawaii. I did actually quite like the gameplay of Sinnoh Alice and the visuals and the music, so it's too bad that there just wasn't enough story there or anything. Or I might have gotten more into it. How many of these fucking guys are there? Jesus Christ. How's your guys' day? How you been doing? Yeah, the guild fight thing was fun. I liked it. But yeah, it was super weird to see, you know, this very... It's Yoko Taro, ah! Also, there's no story. Why did you want a Yoko Taro game? Certainly not for any kind of story. Hell yeah, good job, Cephalo. I know, this is such uninspired DLC content, you know? Here's a DLC, you can fight a lot of enemies in a row. We're very hungry, please give us more money.
These fucking guys! I mean, I can do this all day, but I'd prefer not to. What was it? God, back when Steven Universe was fun, back when it was a fun show, I remember there's the episode where they go in the pyramid, and Garnet says something like, "We can't keep fighting these all day. I mean, we can, but I don't want to." Or something like that. It's pretty good. Oh yeah, I guess it used to be more of a thing where it's like, oh, you're actually making people buy the DLC, you shouldn't. But then it was also a whole thing when, you know, they'd do DLC where it's like you get a horse. Remember that whole controversy? The horse in Oblivion? So that you can ride a horse in Oblivion? Wow. Oh yeah, that might have been it. The puppet priest collects the cursed prayers and polishes the vessel. Oh, that's right, it was horse armor. Oh dang, we're fighting in this area. Marble madness. But yeah, that's a good line. Who would have guessed that during that entire sequence you were actually being horribly mentally scarred by those events? Wait, am I don't... It's a shooting range. Shit. I didn't know. I didn't know. Now I'm gonna have a horrible score just because I didn't know. But that's good content. Yo, this the remix. Where's some noms? All bats. Where the baddies? Where the baddies? Where they at? I don't think I could ever be into rail shooters just because of anxiety, you know? Like you can't control the pace of it and you miss things and I'd be like fuck. Can't handle that shit. Oh, I saw a Let's Play of Typing of the Dead at some point. That was pretty good. See, that I bet I could do because I'm a pretty good typer. My sister actually got kind of into rail shooters because when I went to Japan, she got my PS3, and she actually used the fucking, what was it called? The motion sticks? Remember those things? The lollipops? And she played some rail shooters with those. I mean, when Cube went to Japan, her sister got the PS3. This was all before I was born, you know. Yeah, PlayStation Move. I'm not even seeing anything, I'm just honing. I don't even give a fuck. Where are my homing shots even going? Who knows? Is the PS5 out? Did that come out? That's fucked up, right? That the PS5 is a thing that's already out and it's just kind of been out. Isn't that fucked up? Oh, I see.
It's just like, to me, you know, because the PS4 was always something that I was like, I'm gonna get it someday, and I'll be able to play Bloodborne, but you know, I haven't gotten it quite yet, and now the PS5 is a thing, and I'm like, no, that's not okay. Don't do that. You can't do that. Thank you, Dr. Bubel. She's blushing. That's fucked up that it came out in 2013. That's not okay. I got the Samurai outfit. Cha-ching. Alright. Nope. Not tonight, motherfucker. Fucking 2013? Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucked up. I am become dust.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a...
I know what you mean.
Oh, can I just change my outfit in here? Or do I have to go to the main screen? Oh wait, maybe Grimoire Life. Nah. Well, that'll leave here. I'm gonna replant stuff here. I'm gonna get those pink moonflowers. God damn it! Oh, but before I leave, I want to show you guys. It looks pretty funny because you can't see the whole thing, but I did draw more of this outfit. But I like how because of what it, you know, it's just a texture. It's the lingerie is tucked into my pants. I'm a fucking dork. Very sexy, super duper sexy. Like and subscribe. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and thank you for keeping me company and talking about Nier shit with me. I'm sure it all makes sense. I just gotta read the tertiary material. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Sayonara.